We start our first series here in the group stage. It's, of course, a best of 3. We start this on Amazonia. XiaoKai getting rid of Concealed and Terranas. Fly banning Echo and Northern. So, last refuge for XiaoKai and the very special case here in the Gold League, Turtle Rock.
Interesting bans. Orcs nowadays, we see them vetoing Northern Isles more and more. I think it comes down to the early game creep route, where the Blade Master can have a problem. I really like the Echo Isles ban. Some undeads get hung up on Echo being good for the Blade Master because of claws, but it's much more nuanced than that, especially Triple Hero, which normally is what Orc wants to go for, is a very tough time on Echo Isles. I think these are smart bans from both sides, which make a lot of sense. But the thing is, you know, when you go through the game plan in your mind, it's no longer like it used to be in the past where, you know, okay, it's going to be DK Fiends against Blade Master Grunt. There's going to be the creep route. There's going to be the timing. Because nowadays, there's different kinds of strategies. Farseer is involved. Fast expansions are involved. From the undead side especially. Farseer Tier 2 Expo. Even Farseer Headhunters is part of the meta nowadays. It is so diverse, our meta game, that predicting what your opponent's going to do and having the perfect counter to it is a lot more difficult nowadays.
Definitely. But this is the first WGL on the new patch on 1.329. So the orcs can scout, and of course, as undead, you always have skeletons. So both players with excellent scouting, if they're not lazy, should be able to know what the opponent is doing to them. Quite some tension here. It's still, WGL is still something very, very special. I still remember the first time we went there. It was a winter season, Remo. Oh, it was very, very, very cold. We were in a studio in Shanghai that had no doors and very limited equipment in 2016. 15. These times have changed. Formerly the Gold Series and now WGL. Fly, can he reclaim the throne? He done it before in the second season. This time, the 11th season of WGL/GCS. We have XiaoKai on the left. We got Fly on the right-hand side in Shanghai. Can the underdog cause an upset in the first series of the entire tournament? It would be quite a statement. Group stages at WGL, historically, not the easiest for the favorites. We've seen TH eliminated. We've seen 1-2-0s eliminated. Even Moon fell to the group stage, and here it is. The first game in the bottom left on Amazonia. It is Fly 100%, and his opponent in the pink is XiaoKai.
What are we going to be seeing here? I talked about it before. The strategies are very diverse nowadays. It also has an interesting impact on the map pool. In the past, when it was always Blade Master, Triple Hero against the DK Fiend standard, Amazonia used to be a veto from the Orc side. But nowadays that has changed, largely because of Cryptlord, I believe. As we said earlier, Echo Isles and Northern removed for Fly. Those are really tough maps to deal with Cryptlord. Amazonia is the worst Cryptlord map in the pool, but on the flip side, it's also pretty bad for Blade Master standard Triple Hero. And for that reason, we see Fly switching it up, starting off right away with a Farseer.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting start for sure. Okay, now everything is adjusted. Nice. I was a little worried there that we can't see the mana, but we definitely do. Man, I've become quite a fan of XiaoKai. It's so, like, this is a charismatic bunch when you are with them in a WeChat group with Linguagua and Alice. But yeah, it's incredibly tough, his task here. I'm sure not too many people are betting on him, but that is maybe an easy situation. He has nothing to lose in this group stage. His opponent in the possible lower bracket would be Sok or Mikhail. So maybe he can start a run there. Okay, lightning shoot creep by Fly. So far, everything going well.
XiaoKai is making it difficult here for Fly. He pulls in the green camp. That's a neat little move you can do with the Arcanite right away. DK is coming over. How is the timing gonna work out? I think Fly should be able to get the last hit before the DK arrives, and he does. Doesn't steal the experience, but the DK is in time to get the rest of the camp, gets the rogues, and with that, he can get ahead experience-wise. The correct response here by XiaoKai. He knows he has to be aggressive and is slowing down the Farseer. If you don't harass him right here, he's going to get level 2 right away, which would be a big lead. Feels like Fly is feeling out XiaoKai right now. He's going for the lightning shield creep and immediately puts a test to XiaoKai. He's like, if you don't respond properly, I'm going to get far ahead, so you better make sure you're bringing your A game.
Interesting. Yeah, usually it's the Farseer harassing, the Farseer buying time and space for the tier 2. But here it's the other way around. And that's the Farseer down to 50%, already forced to go for some selves and some speed scrolls. So that is gold that you would rather not spend early. And I think XiaoKai can be happy with this. Apparently he's stealing the bottom left as well. Not bad. Getting the slippers, getting more experience, and with that, getting really close to level 2.
Yeah, the level 2 here is a monumental level up, especially for the DK. The aura makes a gigantic difference. Level 1 Chain Lightning is also pretty nice for securing last hits and so on, but the DK level 2 definitely there has the bigger impact. Oh, Fly now going for the Mercamp. Does XiaoKai have the read here as well? Does he have the scout here as well? He's right around the corner, and he's finding it. Goddamn, XiaoKai is all over this early game. Beautiful movement, perfect presence, and another last hit and level 2. Wow. Item, of course, goes to Fly. Can he save the Grunt and the Farseer? Yes, he will. Bad items for the Farseer here that he picked up, but certainly good for the TC later.
Belt of Giant Strength can be nice for the TC, and Fly coming in with a block, but oh! Is it enough? The skeleton expires, the Fiend is chasing. One shot, and that's it, but he takes a turn to the right-hand side, and Fly sweating in this early game. Finally level 2, gets the last hit here, went for the Berserker, but the Fiend is ready. Do we have another coil? I think we do. Fiend might be ready to block here. Ooh, tense moments in this early game right away. A heal self was applied, but the Fiend is ready to cancel it. One Grunt, barely alive. The Berserker, barely alive. This is not easy for Fly to creep up his TC. There's the coil, there's the kill.
Yeah, this is a horrible early game for Fly over here. He's getting punished so hard. XiaoKai is playing an amazing game. Map movement, map presence. This is where the top level of Warcraft is played. Not just the right strategy and creep route, but also being where you need to be to punish the opponent. And this is horrible for Fly. He didn't get much experience. He used almost all of his mana, but he's got a little bit remaining. He lost a mercenary. And by the way, that Grunt is going to take forever to heal up.
Yes.
Normally you want to have a strong tier 2 army ready right away to power level the TC. That's not going to be the case here. We have double bestiary coming in. Fly is banking on the fact that XiaoKai is not going to have web ready in time, or maybe wants to go for some kind of run-by play. This is not a strategy that does well in a normal straight-up game.
XiaoKai, he keeps on surprising us. Same as WCG, where he was oftentimes the captain of his team, thrown in late into the clan wars to make the important points, and he delivered most of the time. Lich out, TC out, both need to creep. XiaoKai needs level 3 on the DK. That's what the Farseer is trying to prevent, but he's getting greeted by Nova and Coil. So no Frost Armor here, as he's not facing a Blade Master. That's probably understandable. And more creeping. End Snare's coming. Mass Raiders for Fly. Can the Orc specialty get him back into the game?
Mass Raiders. Okay, this can mean mass run-bys, pillage, and so on. Also can mean a Zeppelin drop into the base in the back. I'm not sure that XiaoKai has scouted this yet. Normally you want to send out one skeleton to look in the Orc main what's happening there tech-wise. But at the moment he doesn't have an idea yet. We're creeping up a little bit more. The TC getting level 2, but still far away from 3. Skeleton sees the middle. He saw the Raiders. Is that a tell already?
Maybe. He will probably try to go to Fly's base. There's 2 new pink dots moving over. And then that is a tell. Could be a potential Crypt Lord third. With this, Impale is one of the best spells against Raider run-bys. Still hard to creep, though. Only gets really good on level 2 and 3, which is hard to acquire on this map. More and more creeping. The dust settles a little bit. Time for Fly to rethink his actions, to reset his mind. And XiaoKai, he's surfing on the wave at the moment.
Lich coming out with the Orb of Corruption. Raiders are very good at killing buildings, not so good at fighting. Ensnare still is useful, of course. And here we go, Ensnare flying in. XiaoKai gonna take this fight. Frost Armor on the statue, perhaps even using it as a bit of a bait. Could bring out the ghouls here. Should bring out the ghouls here. Statue will be lost though, and that is the healing gone. Ensnare's on cooldown. Fly doesn't want to fight anymore, but guess what? He's gonna lose another grunt because Lich's mana was looking pretty good. Stomp coming in, trying to surround that fiend. It's gonna require another Ensnare. Frost Armor delaying it for a little bit. This is open blows here between the two, both losing quite a bit. The ghouls are in now. They provide quite a bit more damage against the Raiders. But another fiend there will be going down. Dust was not forgotten. And supply is dropping low for XiaoKai, down to only 30 now.
Lots of losses for the Undead, that's for sure. That's the big strength of Fly. Fighting, brawling. No one really wanted to engage, but both found themselves in a position where they said, okay, if we're here already, let's go! Speaking of let's go, that's almost a surround on the TC. With the illusion, he closes that one. He's very, very, very tanky, soaking up the damage, opening up the rest of the army. He can kill a little more, but the TC, can he get out? Somehow he's dropping further and further and further, and now got the TP and gets out. Long range shot on the Raider. Exit kill for XiaoKai. 37 supply for the August. The dust settles. Level 3 for the TC. And 32 supply for XiaoKai. But he still has the tech advantage.
Yeah, that trade for Fly was fairly good. He comes out a little bit on top, but not by much. Honestly, you want to have better trades if you're in this position. Because as you said, he's stuck on tier 2. He's stuck on one base. Normally, as Orc with this strat, you want to expand on tier 2, but Amazonia is a really bad map for it, so he didn't really have the opportunity. Fly felt under pressure to get something done against the stronger tier 3 army of his opponent, and he got a tiny bit of a lead. Is that going to be enough for him to keep on doing well? Honestly, it is not so easy. Third hero for XiaoKai is not in the mix yet. Dark Ranger could be good, Crippler could be good, even Dreadlord could be good. And on top of that, once the Lich hits level 3, he's going to become even stronger. XiaoKai is getting stronger by the minute, and Fly is under time pressure here to get stuff done.
Tough situation. WCG champion stumbling in the first map. More experience will be soaked up. Level 3 Lich is required. Fly adding in a Wyvern for a little bit of piercing damage and finds his opponent during the creep. Ensnare's flying, hoping for a little bit of a bad position. XiaoKai wants to get out of there, gets the nuke on the Fastia very, very early on, forces the potion. Ensnare on the DK. There is a TP, he can get out, but not if he's stunned. Duration was shortened recently in the patches, but still a very, very powerful spell, and that is the objective for Fly. That's exactly how we wanted this fight to go.
Yeah, XiaoKai decided there not to go for silence, but rather Dark Arrow to have skeletal minions. That of course means you can't silence the Stomp. That's still a powerful weapon. The thing is though, once Fly runs out of mana on the TC and the Farseer, he cannot fight anymore. His army becomes insanely weak, whereas XiaoKai's army at all points, even without mana, thanks to statues, will be looking good. Oh, he whiffs the Stomp! DK doesn't get stunned, but also doesn't get the item. Item goes to the TC, but now look at the mana. Wait, the item's still on the ground! What's going on?
Now he picked it up.
Must have picked it up now. Okay, thank goodness. One of mana steal, which is okay, but it's not enough mana and not enough health to take this fight anymore. The tier 3 Undead is online. DK about to hit level 4. Lich is already level 3. Throw in a couple of statues for regen, and XiaoKai is looking in a tremendous position.
Dude, if the Lich picks up the Well of Mana Stealing, he could possibly have enough mana for another Nova, and then this TC is in real trouble. So it was extremely important for Fly to pick that one up. Mana Potion on the DK, no TP anymore. Invo Potion maybe, if that wasn't stolen before. Level 4. Potentially Death Pact, as Fly's game plan seems to be hero focus, especially in the past 2 fights. If he wants to be very, very safe. Invo Potion is on the Lich. Fly with a lot of Wyvern now. That can be a lot of damage, but they're also so fragile.
Yeah, when they're webbed, they die very fast. Is there web though? Earlier, 2 ghouls died in that defense outside the base, so that definitely limited lumber income. Coil Nova on the TC. There is silence now, and web being upgraded finally. But Fly, he's always playing from behind. With this tier 2 strategy, if you're not ahead in levels and supply, you are behind in the game. Even if the numbers look even. The wolves getting dispelled over and over. Fly looking desperate. Needs a magnificent fight. Going in with a TC, getting silenced. Carl Nova, he's forced out of the fight right away. He can't do anything.
So
One
many
destroyer going
skeletons.
down, but everything is webbed now, and everything is gonna die.
The TC
Fly's
is
gonna lose this game.
The TC is out of the fight. The Wyvern are falling, crumbling. Raiders as well. He doesn't have any control in this fight anymore without the Stomp and without Ensnare. Level 3 for the Dark Ranger. Every single Wyvern gone. XiaoKai still standing strong at 54 supply. Fly never able to get high levels. Fly never able to get an expansion online. XiaoKai with the world-class performance on Amazonia.
Absolutely. Tremendous game by him. Maybe a mistake by Fly not to play Blade Master here. Was hoping to get ahead early with sneaky creep routes by the Farseer. Was hoping to go unnoticed, but guess what? XiaoKai was on notice. And now, with his big lead in the late game, there's nothing Fly can do anymore. He doesn't have Heat Wave. He doesn't have crits. He doesn't have Orb of Corruption. Orb of Lightning, excuse me. Which is what you need against this kind of undead army in the late game. TC's gonna die, and that should be the end here. Oh, might be getting away just barely. Fly not giving up yet. He wants to try everything he can, but I don't think there's much he can try anymore.
I don't think so either. GG! The first upset of the tournament on the very first map. We saw the bottom left, a lot of pressure dropping off from XiaoKai, and nobody really expected him to play that well.
Great performance, dude. And I think Fly is recognizing now, oh boy, I really need to be careful about this guy. I mentioned in the early game, he goes for an opening that you know as Orc isn't 100% reliable, the Lightning Shield creep. So he puts the test to XiaoKai. Are you showing up to play? Are you in top form? Are you doing exactly what you're supposed to? And the answer is yes. XiaoKai is there, punishes that right away, gets the experience lead, and then has the follow-up map movement and presence as well to follow him to the Merc camp, steal the last hit, kill the Berserker, almost kill the Grunt, and from then on, the game is basically lost there. With the Berserker dying and the Grunt surviving on 5 HP, the game's pretty much over. And Fly notices he cannot play this with only 50%. He has to play the 100%.
Yeah. Maybe that's not his favorite playstyle though, Fly's. With a Farseer and TC on a small map like this, XiaoKai found the perfect answer, creeping early. Maybe if you go faster, you have to harass immediately. That was not working out at all. Now it's going to be a different map. And that might be a very, very different Fly. XiaoKai can be happy about this first upset. We can all celebrate the underdog victory here, but never, never, ever count Fly out.
Yeah, absolutely. We still have a lot of Warcraft to play over here. Last Refuge and Turtle Rock, the remaining maps. But I was so impressed with XiaoKai's aggressive play. Many undeads fall into the trap of thinking, I want to level up early, I want to creep because I want to have strong heroes in the late game. That is certainly important, but way more important is the mid-game tempo. And if a Farseer is low level, there's very little he can do. We're going to see the highlights here, once again displaying how well XiaoKai played here. This is the game-deciding fight that we have here. If Fly kills way more units and doesn't lose as much himself, maybe he can then, with the lead that he has, expand and play the game from there. But XiaoKai microed well. He brought in the ghouls, which was really important. Frost armors were on point. Nova's hitting well, and he was always trading the way he was supposed to. If he had gotten the TC kill there, that would have been the win right away. That was not meant to be. But tier 3 undead just cannot be competed with. If you play Farseer, you have to get an expansion fairly quickly. And on Amazonia, that just doesn't work out. As I said earlier, Fly, perhaps he should have played Blade Master on this map, but that's the thing about AZ. It's not a good Farseer map, and it's also not a good Blade Master map.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see where this series takes us on the next maps. Man, this highlight video music throws me back to the Fusion Club right away. Not happening this time here. Okay. I really hope XiaoKai is stable enough to not get nervous now. We oftentimes see this from underdogs. They are very, very close to a victory on a map or in a series, and then they get nervous. They are too close to the stars, and then they fall apart because of the winning pressure Fly, of course, not a real issue. Even if he falls to the lower bracket, he knows Sok and Mikhail should both be beatable for him if he's in tip-top shape. It's not that there's a Moon or an Infi, but still, not the greatest start.
Yeah, a bit of reality check here for Fly. I wouldn't say he's the kind of guy who is gonna rest on his laurels and suddenly get blinded by the success that he had with WCG. He's won plenty of tournaments before, and he knows how to bounce back, still have that drive, still have that motivation, and I'm sure he's gonna play a better second map. Whether it be LR or Turtle Rock, it's gonna be a little bit easier to get your strat online and to get your levels. It's so much about levels. Whether you play Blade Master or Farseer, it is about that crucial level 3 that changes everything in the mid game. And this is what XiaoKai realized very, very, very well. Many undeads don't play aggressively enough, focus too much on their own creeping, and that goes up all the way to the top. Happy oftentimes falls in that same way. You see the maps here once again. Fly's choice, Turtle Rock. We mentioned it earlier, the specialty of the Gold League. We have an adjusted map pool, no TM anymore, but Turtle Rock returns.
Yeah, and in the wildcard qualifier, we've seen some amazing matches on Turtle Rock, so I'm really curious how this will pan out. We don't have critters on TR, so this is a little bad for the undead, but we'll see about that. This is a rematch, by the way, of the WGL wildcard qualifier last season when Fly eliminated XiaoKai. So in the past 5 months, they haven't played each other. This is very, very rare in the Warcraft scene. So they might know each other from ladder, but that's always a very different environment than a tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen that from a couple of players, especially 1-0. Some of the top players don't take ladder all that seriously. Sometimes also you try to hide some strategies. We didn't see anything too crazy strategy-wise yet. It was pretty straightforward. We saw Farseer opening against a DK opening off of one base. The smaller the map, usually, the less likely it is we're going to see something too wild. Turtle Rock, very large. Not as big as Twisted Meadows is, but certainly one of the bigger maps in the pool. Plenty of creeps to go around, and plenty of opportunities for claws of attack as well. What are we going to see now? Blade Master, Farseer, DK Crypt Lord. There are multiple options.
Okay, let's go then. XiaoKai with the lead. Can he close this out with 2-0 on Fly's map, Turtle Rock? Or is it the comeback of the Juggernaut? Is it still Farseer? Or will he move to a Blade Master?
Turtle Rock is great for stacking up a blade. There's lots of claws camps you can easily go for in the early game at the Ogre Warriors, and also for sniping the shops with the Ogre Magi for the Watcher Ward is really, really strong for Blade Master. Triple Hero also, a lot is offered thanks to so many creep camps, so Blade Master, one base Tri-Hero, I think should be the go-to here.
Okay. In the upper left-hand side, we see, once again, the WCG champion, the two-time WCG champion, by the way, as he won the team tournament as well. Playing the Orcs, Farseer or Blade Master. What's the choice? In the bottom left, it is XiaoKai. He could win quite some hearts here in this tournament. He could be one of the big standout performances and rising stars of 2020 when no one really had him on their list. It's a Blade Master opening.
Yeah. Fly very strong with that style. Very understandable on this map. Very good for Tri-Hero, very good for creeping. Lots of medium armor turtles on the map here on Turtle Rock, which you can creep very well with grunts and also oftentimes with Shadowhunter solo later on. XiaoKai playing the old school Fast Fiend late hero build because of what you mentioned. Turtle Rock doesn't have critters, so the DK solo creeping with a Tet Fiend build a lot harder to do. It is doable with the green camp outside your main, you taking that with a ghoul early, but not the case here. Fast Fiend build, and there's an interesting creep route variant on this map. Something that 1-0 used to do in the past is going for 2 Fiends and a Skull and then creeping the Merchant right away. In this case, it's between both of our bases here, so there could be early contention right away.
Oh, these wards, man. Always big topic for discussion. Fly has a scout, uses that one, and apparently going to the shop could just be the circlet for him, but... Oh, he's creeping this. And with the grunt, he can creep this entire camp, not only the Magi.
Only if he's not harassed, though, and the Fiend is coming in, so there's going to be no option of doing this. He's going to snipe the item, and that is the big downside of this build for Undead. You do not have a hero out early, so one big snipe like this can be done with complete impunity. Nothing that XiaoKai could do about it. He could have tried to get the Fiend last hit, but that is very low odds. Plus, the Fiend might get ensnared, which would be a complete disaster. Very smart build by Fly, by the way. He went for the fast shop to have items right away, so he can snipe the ogre in the middle, heal up, and then keep on harassing right away.
Get the crystal ball, not the greatest usage, but there can sometimes be sneaky expansions, so maybe it's okay to keep it for a while and then sell it later for an invo potion or a heal scroll. And this time it's the other way around. This time it's Fly pressuring, and XiaoKai's game already stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, Fly with the one board tech. As always, you want to play aggressively early. Usually get 1 or 2 items and then play aggressively. Wait for more grunts to come out. Because on only one grunt, you creep very slowly, whereas the undead would be creeping much faster. A 4th Fiend before the tech. This is starting to get suspicious. Usually we see a 2 Fiend tech or a 3 Fiend tech. This is 4 Fiends. He doesn't want a tower push, does he?
There's an Acolyte still. He's selling the altar.
Oh my god.
Oh, XiaoKai! Oh, Blade Master. He's very, very hurt! Fly! Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Gigantic mistake by Fly. Never supposed to happen. I mean, losing a level 1 hero can be okay, but in this case, he didn't even get anything. He didn't get the experience, didn't get an item, didn't get a kill. Big mistake by Fly. XiaoKai takes that gift gladly.
Winner bracket final XiaoKai. How does that sound to you? You should get used to it, Remo. More Fiends. He's stuck at 30 now. Maybe Ziggurat a little late. Oh, okay. Ritual Dagger. The Fiends will all be healthy. Wait, he's creeping so much.
Wait a minute, is he expanding?
I thought so too. But he's passing this. Maybe he just wants to come in from the mid-right, so because he knows that there's a Watcher ward.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to give his movement away.
Great items here for the Blade Master. He finds the slippers as well. Shadow Hunter will be starting soon, but there's very few grunts out. The Fiends will easily be able to out-micro these grunts. Blade Master putting in some free damage on the DK. There's no TP here anymore. DK dropping low, but
Blade Master as well. Okay, first Ziggurat cancelled. More and more damage on the Blade Master. Fly is, of course, at tier 2. Can go for heal potions, which he might need down the road. Yeah, he has one in his inventory. There's no reinforced defenses. 5 Fiends and the Skeletons shooting away at the burrows and trying to buy time for the towers to come up.
Man, this strategy, we pretty much never see it anymore. The Cloak of Shadows. This item keeps being great. Over and over. Players realizing that you can use that for a cheap save on a hero. 5 Fiends plus Skeletons. So hard to deal with that right now. For these grunts in the focus fire against the Fiends, they die super fast. One of them died already. The second one super close to falling. Fly is keeping these towers from coming up. Now he has the Shadow Hunter. But the thing is, even with Hex, he doesn't have enough healthy units to go for any kind of kill here, it seems.
True. And yeah, the towers are being cancelled, but that's all attention that is not going to the Fiends, so they're still pretty healthy. DK, 50%. He's going for the Hex now. He wants the hero kill. He wants this undead gone out of his base. But the Cloak of Shadows again with the save. But looks like Fly is stabilizing.
Yeah, no DK. If he comes out of Shadow to Coil, he's also gonna die right away.
Dead.
There's also no aura for the Fiends right now.
Blade. Windwalker as well. Grunt still hurt. XiaoKai at 30. Here's the Hex. Here's the kill. Fly gets the DK out of his face, and this tower rush doesn't seem to be working despite the early hero loss. And XiaoKai calls for the GG. Got a cheeky smile on his face. He knows There was a pocket strat. That didn't work. Whatever, go next.
All right, Fly there, with a bit of a shock early. Wouldn't be a Fly series if he didn't lose his Blade Master for no reason, now wouldn't it? Gets a good comeback there. But, dude, that looks scary. If that works out a little bit better, if Fly messes up a little bit more, the towers finish and the game is probably lost. So, a bit of a meme strat almost worked here. 1-1 now. And one decision, or our decision, to be made on the last map. Last refuge. Turtle Rock. XiaoKai with, he really had an advantage after that early game. Did he really have to push it? Did he have to go for that tower rush? I guess he was up a map. He could test the waters himself. Could have gotten a cheeky 2-0 win here. But Fly, a little too experienced.
I feel like he was hesitating a little with that tower push after the Blade Master kill. He's using a Ritual Dagger. One of the Ziggurats was kind of late and he still built a Fiend. And then he moved from the left-hand side to the right-hand side and lost a little time there. That was all time for the Blade Master to come back and for 1 or 2 units to heal up. If he rushes over right away, does that work? Even though you are exposed to the Watcher Ward on the left-hand side. A lot of ifs. But yeah, XiaoKai not only showing great micro and a great game plan, also shows that he's up for some pockets, for some cheese. And I like that. Why not? If you feel you can't win that map anyway, maybe that's what it is. Go for something that your opponent might not expect. And now we get a full best of 3 in the first series of the day. So that is really sweet.
And where our first 2 maps were very bad for fast expanding, our third one is quite good. Last Refuge. This could very well mean a Cryptlord fast expansion. Doesn't have to be, could even be another Cryptlord variant. XiaoKai, as one of the few undeads out there, has been playing Philbot Fiends, aka Fast Fiends, with the Cryptlord. So there's plenty of opportunities for different kind of strategies. Fly has to be ready against all of them. That is what the top orcs really excel at, reacting properly. Orc, despite how aggressive it can be, is a very reactive race where you always need to be in the right spot, do the right thing. Bad Blade Master. Fly, a little over-eager, losing his first hero there, but then you're realizing the weakness of the DK. Can't heal himself, of course. That cloak. If he had won the game because the cloak would have been kind of crazy, maybe he should have stayed in the shadows. Shouldn't have gone out for the coil, but I guess the Fiends were in trouble. Tough position for XiaoKai. Fly finds his opportunity to win the game and won't slip that away.
Always playing it to the limit with his Blade Master. Oftentimes works, oftentimes causes situations like here on Turtle Rock in the bottom left. But yeah, in this case, probably calculated as well. He was dropping low, doesn't want to use the heal self, and gets the Blade Master back with full HP. Pretty nice. Last Refuge, man. Is XiaoKai a Cryptlord player? We'll probably see that in a second. This is a great map in this matchup, I feel. You can play so many different styles on both sides. Blade Master can creep a lot. The items here can be tremendous. You can get good map control. You can also play a Farseer expansion. On the other side, you can play DK standard with Lich second follow-up. Also here, the items, amazing. Or as you say, open up with the Cryptbot. Go for that expansion right away. We don't really have a reference at the moment what the Europeans play in this matchup, as there are just no orcs left. But now, is it XiaoKai's time to switch the hero up, go for the Beetle, and go for the Mass?
Could definitely be a possibility. What I would like to see here, what I would love to see from Fly, is Farseer Headhunters. Really, really strong on that map. If the Cryptlord is expanding early, you can snipe the green camp and then harass right away. If it's DK solo creeping, Tet Fiend build, you can pressure him very well. If it's Cryptlord Fiend, it's also working very well against that. The only build that Farseer Headhunters isn't good against is Fast Fiend DK, which we just saw, admittedly, but it's probably a Turtle Rock special. Pretty unlikely to see that here on LR. There's a bit of coin flipping going on with that. There's certain opening builds that are good against certain other opening builds, and you have to sort of predict what the opponent is likely going to do, plus, of course, what you're comfortable with and what is good on the map. And Farseer Headhunters is great on this map. You can creep very well, you can pull out the camps, lots of heavy armor. Headhunters can take him out fast. However, I haven't seen it from Fly in a long time. He seems to prefer Blade Master 1 base or Farseer Grunt Expo. For the most part, he has certainly played Farseer Headhunters in the past. A strategy that is very, very popular on Europe and NA both. On the Asian Netty server, a little bit less. We'll see what it is.
High stakes. Group stage WGL. Lots of upsets happen there. We could start this tournament with a bang. If the WCG champion gets relegated to the lower bracket in the first round, you know what's up. You know how high the level of play here is in the Warcraft 3 World Championship. 16 players, $60,000. At game 3, Fly in the bottom left-hand side, playing from south to north. XiaoKai, upper right, playing from north to south.
Opening up with a Ted Fiend build. Alter Ziggurat. No ghouls, no Crypt Lord by XiaoKai. He's not going to try with the expansion. Fly has shown in the past how strong he can be against that. What's Fly going to do? Is he going to play a barracks here? Yes, he will. Seems like the peon is building it. Yeah, okay, so no Farseer Headhunters, I'm afraid. I would have loved to see it. He's going to go with a standard here with...
Oh, seems like Remo has a little bit of connectivity issues. But, okay, I gotcha, fam. Yeah, curious now. So, Fly Blade Master or Farseer is a little bit the question. We don't see a shop. So, no healing early on. He still goes for the Blade Master. And then for the High Priests, maybe. We do have quite a normal build here as well. It's Ted Fiends. So, still no big love for the Crypt Lord. Infi plays it a lot. But many others don't go for him. Have abandoned him a little bit. Man, the pressure on XiaoKai now. It's quite intense. Is he getting too nervous? Don't feel like... he doesn't strike me as a player who gets nervous. Not at WCG, not in WGL qualifiers. Whenever he was ahead, you can... Like, he took the win whenever his team was relying on him. He was there. So... Ooh, like that Acolyte position on the high ground, getting good vision. Might be seeing the Blade Master early on, and now he knows he's got to be careful. But Fly not going for the ultra aggression. Has to wait for the shop a little bit to get speed scrolls, heal selves and clarities and all. So just pimping the Blade Master a little on the other side, the typical creep route for the undead. Going for the High Priest right away to grab one of the consumables, illusions, for example, replenishment potions. There's many good items here. So that's the start. Fly willing to punish this early. I think he's too late as the priest is not healing himself. It is replenishment potion, so he can save the ritual dagger, get a little bit of mana back. That's a good start. Fly. Oh, this inventory. Circlet from the merchant, claws from the shop. This is, of course, a claw +5 now, so this results in +7 damage at the moment. But with that, and XiaoKai not hanging around, he can maybe go for the Ogre Magi. Not willing to, as he sees the skeleton would be given away, and then XiaoKai can storm over, throw a coil, get the experience. Not much leveled here at all. Both very careful. Don't want to overexpose your army. There's a little bit of healing going on. XiaoKai used his replenishment already, and Fly cancels this. He's going into the undead base now, trying to prevent that ziggurat. That would mean that XiaoKai can't go for more fiends, and you really need them for creeping. Stutter stepping by Fly, and he gets that canceled. That throws the undead back big time. Forces only another Windwalk. And this early game doesn't go as planned. Fly back with his Blade Master in full force. Catching some hits, but yeah, there is always going to be Windwalk. And now last hit battle. Coil secures it. Level-wise, the Blade Master isn't looking too hot. Maybe he sacrifices him again. Reveal, coil, kill. Okay. That is a typical Fly. 2 Blade Masters lost on 3 maps. But yeah, saves heal selves again. He had 5.
I think if he pops the speed scroll there a little earlier, maybe he survives. But great block by XiaoKai. Again, looking really strong in the execution department. And that hero kill, it's not that expensive to revive, yes, but this is going to be, once again, quite this experienced lead. Ideally, as I mentioned earlier, you want to get level 3 Blade Master fast, zoom across the map, but that is pretty much impossible now by the time that tier 2 is hit.
Yeah, we always say that, like, it's not too expensive, it doesn't take much time, but the experience on the DK is looking so good now. Plus, it does cost something. If he escapes, it doesn't. Like, he has the heal selves, he invested the gold already. Level 1 Blade Master now stuck on that for quite a bit. This might be a very low level Blade Master and then high level Shadowhunter TC rather.
Yeah, it's not going to be the easiest game here for Fly moving into the mid-game stages. He's going to have to play defensive. He's going to have to be crafty with his creep routes. And there's a great opportunity for XiaoKai to be aggressive. Or wants to steal the item, perhaps. Has to pop the speed scroll to pick up the ring. That doesn't feel good. That again limits your options, limits your aggressive and defensive potential with one speed scroll being gone now. And again, XiaoKai perfectly realizes he can creep with only the units. The DK can run across. It's very likely the Blade Master is creeping there, steal something away, make his life difficult. XiaoKai realizes beautifully how important it is to be aggressive and problematic against an Orc early.
Whew. Oh, the DK comes into the creep. Is he sniffing this out? The Ogre...
So close.
Yeah. Ships in the night. Shadowhunter out. Fourth item is again a ring. Not the greatest inventory. For the TC, it will be fine. But man, this could have been way worse for Fly.
Yeah, the thing was, there was no speed scroll there anymore. This could have easily been another grunt kill. XiaoKai now sees the Shadowhunter. Is that going to dissuade him? He's sticking around. The Lich is out as well, a little bit later. Frost Armor or Nova. We have seen a lot more Frost Nova nowadays. And dude, look at Fly. Suddenly he's level 3 almost with a Blade Master. What a great comeback. Maybe XiaoKai could have pressed the advantage a little bit more, being more aggressive. But Fly knows how to come back after a difficult situation. Many Orcs would have crumbled after an early game like that.
Yeah, true. Fly doesn't. Fly never does. Until his Blade Master dies for the 3rd or 4th time, he's still in that game, still trying to get the W, to get an easier path to the playoffs where everyone is expecting him. Alongside Sock, he is the favorite in this group, I would say, not the 2 undead. Blade Master again down to 50%. This time, the Lich decides to go for Frost Armor first, as is the norm, especially against the Blade Master. This limits the harass potential for this Blade so much. It's fine, XiaoKai, not forgetting to scan in case the Blade Master is around and trying to steal something here. Wand of Mana stealing can be quite decent if it gives you a coil or steals a heal away from your opponent. Now we got the level 3 Blade Master who is creeping the rest of the spot alongside his Shadowhunter. Don't like that too much. More experience on the Blade Master, really not that necessary. You need to level up the Shadowhunter, who gets a Subi Mask, by the way, and a very early Wyvern edition.
Yeah, Blade Master here soaked up a little experience, but it also quickened the creeping a lot. If he's not here, that takes a lot longer, a lot more damage on the grunts, takes a lot more healing to recover. Here's the Dark Ranger. We have the tier 3 push ready with around 40 supply. This could be very scary from XiaoKai, especially if he picks up the next item. Blade Master, can he steal it? Would be a massive moment. And Blade got it. Big heal potion. So crucial.
Coil Nova on him. He might need that very soon. But he's diving back into the safety of his base, while the Shadowhunter is still creeping up, level 2.4. And XiaoKai, is he pushing forward with that Dark Ranger? Can he get a revenge kill? Maybe on that Ogre. Forces Fly back, limits the experience.
No TC yet. No Orb of Lightning yet. This Orc strategy is very strong on tier 3. Oh, he's going for the DK without ensnares. It's not gonna work.
A little ambitious, huh? Okay, is that the Ogre Magi? Yes, it is. And the Mana Stone for the DK.
Wow. That was the one problem here for XiaoKai. He didn't have mana sustain. Now he does. Oh, the Destroyer doesn't get purged. Mark that in your calendar. Usually always gets first hit purged.
Okay. Let's go. Onto the burrows. Very, very vulnerable. So are the grunts. Could be easy kills. Okay, but now the destroyer is gone. The wyvern will be sacrificed for it, but it's worth it. Level 3 on the Shadow Hunter. Fly is getting stronger and stronger by the minute, and the TC is out as well.
Crucial level up here. The level 2 heal wave makes all the difference in the world. TC with the stomp against the fiends in the back. One of them can be saved, but the Orb of Lightning Purge is coming in. Frost armor still applied. The Purge is really rare here so far. Blade Master taking heaps of damage, but he's got 2 items. Not sure if that should be the focus here by XiaoKai. Going for the Berserker now. That is a way easier kill. Should be able to get it. DK with 1 more coil out of mana now, but of course we can't forget about the mana scale.
Man, the micro by Fly here with the Berserker, pretty crazy. Saves it for such a long time. The skeletons could be part of the fight, but they absolutely are not. Heal Scroll applied. The Burrows take out the skeletons, so this Berserker survives. Bear Grylls Berserker.
Sick hold by Fly. He had like 3 units total. 2 grunts and a wyvern, and he still holds on. Gets the level 3 shadow, gets the TC, gets the Orb of Lightning, and with that, stabilizes. That push fails by XiaoKai, and that puts him at a bit of a deficit, but certainly still manageable. The DK gets caught at the shop. He's hexed. If the Stomp comes in, this could be a disaster. TP forced here, maybe. Invul Potion first. 7 seconds of invulnerability, but a Hex is ready in another second. Death Knight. Death Knight!
TC sticks around. Mistake by XiaoKai! Gets caught with the stomp, and that could have been prevented. He was a little greedy. He didn't want to go for the TP to save it for later, and now he pays the price. And maybe the price is the series.
High level play by the 2 players. Once again, XiaoKai gets ahead early, but as sometimes the little inexperienced players do, he presses advantage, and the world-class Fly holds and now has a monumental lead. Level 4 Blade Master, crit level 2 coming in, big item stolen. And getting, the Lion Horn of Stormwind, plus 2 armor on everything, amazing. Giant lead for Fly now in this game. He can creep up a little bit more, take out the natural, take out the red camp, go for a tiny Great Hall. The world's his oyster now.
Ankh on the Dark Ranger. If only he had that item a couple of seconds earlier. Blade Master level 2 critical strike now getting scary. With the Gloves of Haste, the trifecta completed. Fly, what a comeback. What a game. We clearly see that the Blade Master game is way better than his Farseer game. And these are the maps that he could rely on. Getting scouted at the red. Rest of the army is around. Dark Ranger is getting wiped out immediately. 150 critical strike. Not really sealing the deal. There was an Ankh, but here's the rest of the army. And this is a big, big problem for XiaoKai. There's the Hex. Oh, Purge! Invul Potion! And now the Blade Master is in trouble, but he had the heal potion. The Dark Ranger now pays the ultimate price. GG! Fly with the comeback and the upset. Not yet, but WCG champ was shaken a little.
Yeah, great play there by Fly towards the end, always showing his class in the later stages. Wonderful hold on LR. That is so hard to do, but he does it very well. The winner here is the favorite. Fly emerges and makes it to the winner bracket. But honestly, this is a WCG champion, but every single map, the early game was shaky. There was big mistakes on every map. I think Amazonia we can kind of grant him because that's a very tough map for Orc if the Undead is on point, which XiaoKai was. But on the other 2 maps, big mistakes. If he makes those against 1-2-0, he's not winning this series.
XiaoKai is a force to be reckoned with in the lower bracket. Mikael or Sok will face him there. That is our next game of the broadcast to determine the 2 opponents for the winner bracket and the lower bracket. This group is pretty even. I thought Fly comes in as the big favorite. It's a little underperforming compared to the WCG performance he had. Sok, absolute rising star. Mikael in the shape of the past 5-6 years, WCG quarterfinal. And as we said, XiaoKai, as you saw, not the ultimate underdog that we expected him to be.
Yeah, this is a great opening match and promise for this tournament. Many fans out there that look at this list of players and they see the big names. Lin, Infi, Moon. And of course, those are world-class players. But not many thought that XiaoKai was going to be able to compete very well. But XiaoKai proves early on that he absolutely can. Super solid performances by XiaoKai. Sometimes a little over-eager, I think, to close out the game. But as far as mechanics go, preparations go, map movement goes, XiaoKai looking good. And he's still going to have a decent chance to blow up.
Okay, we are moving into the winner interview where Wong and Vangolia will help us with the translation. That is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys. Shout out to you for always having our back when it comes to the Chinese winner interviews. This community, just an absolute blessing. People are coming together, people helping each other out. So yeah, you do this for such a long time. Of course, you know Wong from our DreamHack broadcasts, where he always is doing a stellar job. And we move on to the winner interview where we have Fly in the studio in Shanghai. Oh, not yet.
Fly against the winner of the other match in the winner bracket. It's going to be sick as well. Whether it's Michael or Sock, yes, which is, by the way, our next match coming up. It's going to be wonderful. Group A. I was also worried, you know, that Fly, Sock, and Michael might be the only ones really here playing for the 2 spots in contention. But XiaoKai, I keep on getting impressed by this guy. I almost conditioned myself to get ready for XiaoKai to be playing a somewhat disappointing performance. But no, he keeps on delivering, keeps on playing really, really well. And if here he would make it out of the groups, that would be the final manifestation of his shape. But it's going to be tough here, certainly. Sock is looking very strong himself, hot off of the AWL victory with a smashing 4-0 against LawLiot there.
It's so cool, man. This Asian scene. WGL was won by Infi, WCG was won by Fly, DreamHack was won by LawLiot and 120. AWL was won by Sock. Like, it's really, really tough to get a win in the tournament, or like a back-to-back win in the tournament. There's not the absolute dominator anymore. And if there's no real big tournament win for Moon nor Lin in the past couple of weeks and months. This scene, so awesome.
Focus getting next as well. There's so many top contenders. The top 10, 15 in Asia are crazy strong. And now we're gonna hear from Fly.
Okay, I hope we can get a fast translation here using a new way to do this here. Fly looking fresh. I think he lost even a little weight after his WCG victory.
Next to the trophy that he would love to add to his collection after WCG. Today, certainly, he notices he has to play his best game.
那第一局输掉之后，第二局你们是来到了这个海龟岛，然后海龟岛是在同一侧，就不是斜对角，相对来说已经算是比较近的距离了。对方也是非常的就是不惜一切代价进行了一波 TR。然后我们看到当时你是击杀了对方的这个 DK， 挡住了这个 TR。平常练习中这种对抗做得多吗？然后当时你觉得是什么样的原因可以防下来？
其实这种平时现在已经很少有亡灵会这么打了但是对我来说的话，我觉得看到来 TR 我的话，其实就是并没有很慌张，甚至内心有点想笑，因为平时我就是在打 TR 方面的话，我还是比较有自信的。
所以这句话的这个我解读一下，就是以后其他亡灵就不要再来 TR 我了，我就把这个战术ban掉了。好，那最后的这个决胜局，其实那个团战打的也是蛮紧张刺激的啊。我看你这个包括操作到最后，连一个自己招的雇佣兵都没有死掉，然后一路又追杀，然后又通过最后的抓 MF 一锤定赢。那其实那个关键的团战还是在你的家门口打的，就是亡灵过来进攻，你过来防守。那相比于第一局当时是没防住，第3局是防住了。跟我们说说这个团战吧。
主要是第一局我是先知牛头，然后先知牛头本来就是打这种团战是没有剑圣小歪那么厉害的。然后最主要的是这个 我是背靠着主场，然后有这个商店的补给，有补给的优势，所以可以一直跟他打消耗。然后小凯的话，他来压制他的那个撤退时机还是稍微的晚了一点。其实他一开始是赚了便宜，但是有点过于恋战，然后慢慢的又被我打回来了这种。
OK， 好的，那最后我们还有一个就是从微博上找的这个粉丝的提问。那这个提问因为不太受我们控制，所以如果有冒犯到，也不要那个就是怪罪到我们啊。OK， 那 Fly 给到你的问题就是，大家都知道你已经结婚了，然后也有了这个小宝宝了，对吧？但是呢，却在比赛中展现出了惊人的手速，还能做出如此复杂的操作啊！这位水友感兴趣的就是你是如何保持这样的一个能力的？
这个肯定平时没有。这个肯定是平时有这个高强度的针对这个手速去做一些训练。
做一些训练。
对，
所以这其实也是职业选手的基本功了。
对的。
好的，那谢谢Fly接受我们的采访，也希望你在后面的比赛里继续有好的发挥，谢谢。好，接下来我们稍事休息，那马上迎来的就是 A 组的下一场比赛。
All right, we got the translation here and now, guys. So, first question was about the TEC. Because it didn't really work too well this series. Fly answers, yep, XiaoKai played it really well. He constantly pressured me with the Dark Ranger, pressured my shop, got a lot of skeletons, so it was hard for the TEC. Second question is, of course, about the tower rush on TR. You killed the DK and stopped that tower rush. Do you often practice against that style? He says, no, it's really, really rare for the undead to tower rush, but I saw that and I was laughing a little inside, so not too much respect for the undead tower rush strategies, the cheese that XiaoKai put there. The next question is, the last fight was very good for you. You didn't lose any unit. Can you comment on that? And he answers, yeah, first map, I had the Farseer and I managed to fight back. He retreated a little late. Okay, that seems a little out of context, but whatever. The fans are asking. We know that you're married and you have a child and your APM is still very high. Why? Okay. Interesting question. And he says he always practices that. So not too much insight from this interview, I feel. But okay, first series is done. We have an 8-minute 30 countdown here. But before we go into a little break, we have a lot of subs. As this is WGL, we disabled all the alerts to keep the broadcast clean. But before every break, we can use the time and thank you guys for supporting us. And the support started very early today. Lurchibald with the 1-year sub. Love the DreamHack coverage, and now it's just continuing. PogChamp, Manic Twig gifting a sub to Vangolia, who's helping with the translations. Very well deserved. Thank you. The WillQ, 2 years and 1 month of support from you. That is tremendous. Dawn Mahoney for the 5-month resub. Here are my Rundfunkgebühren for the last quarter. Thank you. Landhouse, 7-month. Nice setup, boys. The church, it is absolutely beautiful. We got a $42 donation by Hirnriss. Thanks for your plentiful content and your work for the Warcraft 3 community. Keep on and stay healthy. Greetings from Hanover. Greetings. My brother lives there, by the way. Cool city. Sometimes. Somewhere. Couple of places are nice. Damn Zam with a 2-month resub. Thanks for all you do. Shurax with a sub. Mattikuchen WGL Hype. 42-month already. Todd with a 34-month resub. You guys been down to the duck zoo recently? Shout out to Todd, our brother. Noe with a sub. Sacred with a sub. Slamcut. Tomgog Box. Say So. Nummer 2. And Mantisius. 17-month. 17-month already. Somehow, my my subscription got cancelled. Whatever. Keep on, and maybe with Slash in the Meisterschaft one day. Possible. Now, we have a 7-minute break. We prepare everything for the second match of the day. It's going to be the Koreans. It's going to be Mikael versus Sok.